Hi, my name is Kristen Rose, and today I'm going to be discussing why I believe self-defense should be mandatory. Self-defense teaches women how to defend themselves. Growing up, I was in an area that was very rough. Most of the girls in my high school and in my middle school all had been traumatized because they all had been raped, assaulted, and we were never shown or explained how to defend ourselves against attackers and assailants. Couldn't go walking down the street by ourselves. We didn't know how to, not even the basic moves. We weren't taught any of this. And I think that if maybe we were given just a slight advantage in health class, PE, anything, then maybe these girls would have had a better chance and they wouldn't have had to have grown up in a different environment through middle school and high school. Over 5.4 million violations happen in a year, and these are just the ones that have been notified and rectified, and girls actually came out and said this is what was going on. So think about it, if that's 5.4 million of the girls that had come out, how many are there total? I just think that it should be a mandatory class, just stop this from happening to begin with. When does this happen? This could happen at any time, really. It can happen to you when you're driving home alone and you have to go stop and pump your gas. This can happen to you while you're at a party. You can get assaulted. It happens 24/7 on college campuses all around us. For instance, the poor girl in Iowa who was jogging, a little late at night, but nonetheless, she shouldn't have to worry about that, but she was abducted, and, it was unfortunate. You also have another case, Elizabeth Smart, who, unfortunately, when she was 14, was kidnapped right out of her own bedroom. And she was held captive for years. And she was brutally raped, brutally beaten, definitely traumatized. And she's great now. Took a while to get her there. She's married, has kids, but she even says it herself that if it was mandatory and that if she had learned even the littlest movements, like taking your palm of your hand and shoving it in your assailant's nose, or even putting your thumbs in their eyes, just anything that she could do to have gotten away from her attacker. She pushes it and pushes it so that parents will teach their children how to protect themselves from the world. It's, sometimes you can't avoid it, but at least if you were given the tools, you can take what you've learned and try to apply it to the situation. What should be done? I think it should start as soon as girls go into kindergarten. I think that they should learn, use your voice, scream as loud as you can, try to draw as much attention to yourself as humanly possible. The certain basic moves, like if they grab you from behind, you want to stomp on their foot as hard as you can with the heel of your foot. You want to try and kick them in the knee. They grab you in the front, you always go for the crotch. If you can get them to come down, use your knee, bash their head off of it. Just certain moves that are helpful, just enough to get yourself away from your attacker and get to safety. And I think it should be mandatory for girls to, not young girls, but older girls to understand how to use pepper spray and mace. Girls don't understand that, just because you have a can doesn't mean they actually know how to use it, and especially when you're put in a situation where you have to use it, they have no idea what they're doing. Most of the time it's expired or it's empty. So, teaching them how to, constantly look at their can, practice using it, especially when you don't, you never know what's going to happen. the best martial arts for self-defense. Some of these are boxing, jiu-jitsu, Krav Maga. Those are the top self-defense martial arts that I just think, should be helpful. If maybe you want to take it the next step and you really want to make sure that you don't get yourself in any situations, or say your assailant has like a knife or a gun. Krav Maga is perfect for getting yourself away from that. Krav Maga teaches you how to get the weapon right out of that person's hand, and you can either cripple them or just get them down enough so you can run. Most of your self-defense classes teach you that as well. Not all of them. Most of them just teach you the basics. But I think, nowadays you can't be too careful. Unfortunately, that's the society that we live in. And I think it's just best that everybody learns every technique that they can possibly get their hands on. And then these are a few of my references. So yeah, I believe that young girls, it should be mandatory for young girls to learn self-defense, to protect themselves against the dangers that are going to be after them in the world. Thank you.